Okay, now Greg asks, I left a religious cult. I was going to seminary to become a pastor at one point. I've purchased the Get Over Religious Guilt hypno audio, along with Let Go of the Past hypnotic session, and the Stop Being Indecisive audio. The cult I left had potential to offer status and admiration, but I couldn't continue to be part of it in good conscience. Unfortunately, I still have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from religion. Is it possible to erase past memories that cause PTSD? If not, what's an approach I can take to lessen the intensity of the PTSD? Well, that's a really interesting question, Greg. And coming out of a cult can be really difficult because, of course, as you sort of hint at in your question, really, the cult kind of meets all of your basic emotional needs, or sort of pretends to, whilst you're in the cult, with the overt or covert message that if you leave the cult, then you'll be nothing and you'll have nothing. You are nothing without the cult. Abusive partners in relationships do this as well. Without me, you're nothing. You couldn't survive without me. The cult will try to stop you meeting other people outside of the cult. So the cult is the only source of your ideas and the fulfillment of your emotional needs. Now, an abusive partner will do that as well. It might stop you seeing your friends and relatives and people outside of the cult of two people, as it were, and also tell you that you can't survive without me. No one will love you as much as I love you. You'll never meet someone like me again. So all these messages, so the person gets glued into the cult situation, whether it's a intimate relationship or whether it's actually in a cult, as you were, Greg. Now, we don't erase memories, and this is a question I get asked quite a lot about hypnosis. Can you erase memory like erasing a piece of video or an audio recording? And the fact is that we need our memories in order to learn and avoid what was bad for us in the past in the future. What we do is we decondition a memory. So if it's a post-traumatic memory that you have, or a series of memories you have from being in this cult, then you might find that something called faulty pattern matching occurs, whereby something reminds your brain of the incident that's particularly troublesome for you, and your brain responds as if you're back in that situation again. Now, this can sometimes take the form of flashbacks or nightmares, which is the brain's attempt to flush out the emotional arousal. So we use a technique called the rewind technique, whereby you comfortably approach the troublesome memory, and by doing so whilst in a detached, relaxed, calm, and very unusual manner, the brain has a chance to relog that memory as past and therefore no longer threatening. So you can think about that time in future whilst not getting anxious. So the memory is still there, but the brain has re-tagged it, and we help that along with the help of the rewind technique, which is a very powerful way of dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. And it's a kind of a hypnotic technique, although people who aren't even trained in hypnosis often use it, psychologists and so forth. I do offer sessions for free to people if they're willing to have those sessions filmed for our UPTV, our online portal for trainee therapists to observe therapy being done. So if that's of interest to you, you can get in contact and we could do that, or I could try and find a practitioner who's skilled in rewind, because we've trained plenty of people using the rewind technique. So that would be a thing to do.